Hello and welcome to my post. I did do a written post, but somehow or other that seems to have gone through to the 5th quadrant and other impossible sites. So here I am, large as life, on your screen, ready to talk to you about this model. First of all, I have to admit that I come to it with a limited knowledge and certainly not having any experience of participating in the application of the model. However, I think that the case studies that were listed in the reading give some insight into the flexibility of the model and the versatility, and of course the fact that it can be used in the dealing with small-scale problems up to problems of international magnitude is something that is very impressive. I can see the benefit of the broad picture that populating the 4 spaces, the 4 quadrants, produces. And I know there's some concern about making things overly complex. I'm not so sure that that is such a big concern, given that when one starts out to address a problem, part of the engagement of the consultant, of the facilitator, of the problem solver, of the analyst, is within a brief. So I see that the degree of complexity lies in how the brief is structured, not in it's not an inherent problem or facet of the model. I'm impressed with the way that the model produces a very multi-dimensional picture, and I really enjoyed Catherine's video with the crows that took the analysis into a different arena from the one that I've been toying with. I see tremendous value in the model challenging the facilitator or the inquirer, the leader, the whatever name you want to give to that person, challenging them to be honest with themselves and to develop expansive views that see the gaps and invite those gaps to be filled and populated by others. And to challenge the people participating in the problem solving, addressing the problem, to take their blinkers off and to develop a larger radar screen, so to speak. It's always a challenge to see things from other people's perspectives, and seeing material plotted out in the 4 sections of the model, I think it's very, very helpful to actually give people a language for common communication and to allow some sense of conversation and growth and transformation to occur from that. The problem that I have been applying the model to in my mind is one that pertains to the management of our car fleet, which is managed on behalf of 850 women, religious women, and it's a small question within a bigger nested situation of what is the procurement policy, what is the sustainability policy of our congregation. So I can see how the various stakeholders, for example the people in the finance office who are trying to run a business and get the best business deals possible, would be looking very much at putting their material, their data, their responses into that 4th box, the systems box, whereas those who are individuals and are concerned about perhaps the potential of losing their independence and the ability to drive themselves or have access to a vehicle of their own, so to speak. That comes into the behavioural. Whereas in the cultural segment, I would see reference to our guiding documents and our aspirational statements about being as ecologically conscious as we can be, as well as issues around sustainability and the desire to give good witness and so forth. And I can also see that having plotted the responses or potential responses, it gives everyone the opportunity to see from another's perspective. Obviously I haven't done the application as thoroughly as Catherine and her crows, but I can see that this could be a tool that would be important. And given the nature of that, it would seem that, and I didn't pick it up in the readings, that the time frame for working through the model should be quite lengthy to enable that conversation, that conversion, that transformation to occur, and to enable really integrated, integral responses to be developed. So it's an interesting model, and I look forward to participating in its application at some stage. So thank you for attending to my little post. And I've come back from the 5th quadrant, the quadrant of impossibility, and I'm about to upload this. So thank you, and we'll catch up.